What's up, Staten Island? What's up, America? Baseball fans all over the world. That's right. This could be a worldwide podcast. We don't know where you're tuning in from. This might be translated into Japanese, Chinese, who knows? Anyway, my name is Tabavona with TUF Media, Metro United Sports Unlimited. That over there is Chris Reyes, representing Team USA Baseball, also MUSU, also player at Elite Player Development. Chris, first and foremost, most importantly, how are you, my friend?
Todd, I'm doing well, my friend. I was around Staten Island and New York City baseball a lot this week, and there's a lot to talk about. I'm excited to have our guest John on this podcast, and it was a good week. Good week of sun and good week of baseball.
Yeah, man. The weather people did not have their works cut out for them this week. We had just had straight good weather.
Yes,
No real rain. It was a good chance for all these teams to get their games in and perhaps even for some to make up some games if necessary, which was great. And the aforementioned guest, John Santomassino, Tottenville, senior pitcher, first baseman, stud.
yes,
He is
sir.
doing it, as my good buddy
Fellow pirate friend, Todd.
fellow pirate friend. That's right, as we say, and some people probably hate us for saying it every podcast we come on. We are proud Tottenville High School graduates. As you can see, this hat over my shoulder is actually the 2003 New York City PSAL City Championship hat that I wore all season and in that game, my friends.
Yes,
So
sir.
much so that I don't know if you can see it, America, but that the sweat stains, yeah, that's gross. Oh, you gotta love it. I am a keeper of all things Tottenville. All
Yes,
right, there's
sir.
that. And then that hat, I don't remember when I wore that hat.
I don't remember that hat. That's a white
I don't
Tottenville hat.
know. That's a Tottenville hat, all right. I just don't remember what
Interesting.
year. Yeah, hold on. Let's get it down off of my makeshift set that I can't. But yeah, all it is the white with the purple tee.
Hmm.
Maybe John knows where I saw. John, where did I get that hat from?
Oh, well, I know we've been sponsored by Legends for a long time. We got all of our stuff out through there. So,
That
John
must have been a
Santomassino,
JV.
thanks so much for joining the program. That's right. Our friend Mike Lanza over at Legend Sporting Good has been a proud supplier of plenty of our teams throughout the borough. Whether
Yes, sir.
you're T-ball, little league, high school, college, I mean, Legends has been the legend on the island. But right now, a living legend is John. John, congratulations, Player of the Week. Thank you for taking the time. By the way, a little context for when we recorded this. John, you're a little busy right now, aren't you? You're in the middle of something here.
yeah, I'm helping my mom out with a fundraiser she's doing for the PTA over at PSFD, Spatial Columbia, at my little
And
That's
sister's school.
awesome, man.
And this is something that you've been doing on the regular, something you've been doing for a while,
Uh,
John?
Ever since I left that school, like, I started there. That's my first 5 years of school, and ever since I left there, I've always been coming back to helping out the fundraisers, anything I can to do to help with the school. I always go take time out of what I do to help make sure I can give back to what they give me.
That's awesome,
John,
man.
I love to hear that, John. And if any of the young kids watching this or any of John's peers watching this, that's how it's done. It's good to hear you doing that and giving back to where, because you got to this point. And by the way, this point, Chris, hey, can you recap real quick the week that John has had? He had a great Monroe tournament. Put up some stellar numbers, Chris. Just wrap it up for us quick, would you, bud?
Yeah, I spoke to Coach Grippo, John, and he was pretty impressed with your performance at the Monroe tournament. We had one of our scouts on the ground, and he watched you play and hit, and he said it was pretty impressive. And if I'm not mistaken, had a few home runs, one tournament MVP, pitched really well, somewhat of a superhero week. Why don't you break it down for us a little bit, John? Unpack it for us. How did that feel?
Well, it was like one of those flow state moments where you just kind of get rolling and you just keep moving with your body. And I didn't play 2 games after our first 2 league pool play games, so I was kind of just on the bench supporting my team, getting going, and just trying to get ready to go back out in the field whenever we were ready to go. Because I'm one of Grippo's guys where it's like pitching wise, I go in usually when he needs me to go in a pinch spot. So like the
Mm-hmm.
2 games I was sitting on the bench, I was just waiting to go in. And then we hit the semifinal game, which I ended up starting because we were running short on arms. and we were playing at John Jay, a very, very good school. They beat us in a league game early, about I want to say a week prior, and I went out there and I was feeling very, very good body wise, and I ended up doing a complete game shutout against them, which
That's
just
great.
carried very nicely into the championship game, where even the game against John Jay, I put a ball that's going on any normal size field, but unlucky for me, Monroe has like a 450 dead center.
Yeah.
So then the
Nice.
championship game, I started off. I was playing third after pitching 81 pitches through through 7 innings. Six innings of baseball. And at third, I started off out. I had too much energy, and I took one off the side of the glove quick in the first inning. But after that, I bounced right back, and I was up with the bat. And I want to say, in my last 3 games of that tournament, every at bat I managed to put a ball in play to score a run when we
That's
had
great.
runners on.
That is not an easy
And
tournament to win because you
no,
have to play day after day. And
those teams in that tournament are always teams you'll see in the top 8 throughout in the final brackets on your way to Yankee Stadium.
most
So
definitely.
it's not like we had Grand Street, who won it last year, in there. We beat them. Richmond Hill, who we were facing last year in the Monroe tournament. Once again, another solid team. Luperon, who took us out last year. It's so much great competition there.
So, John, is this a foreshadowing of what's to come for Tottenville baseball in June?
I have to say, I believe we will be there. We will be in Yankee Stadium again this year. Last year, we were all shocked that we didn't make it. Such a stellar team and all that, and it's just Luperon. They bested us that game, and it happens. You can go undefeated all you want, but it just takes one game to change the pace of everything.
That's right, man. You can't take
But
off one inning to get to
I
that city
honestly think
championship.
that this year, after that tournament, with our momentum, we have a very great chance of going all the way.
That's great to hear, dude. Keep it up, man. Keep it up. Keep it up.
Our energy has definitely gone up since that tournament. I mean, the connection has just grown. Team spirit has just gotten so much better.
That was going to be my question, John. Is what do you think sets this season apart from last season? It sounds like you feel a lot more confident, or at least you have an inkling to you that this team has that it factor. It sounds like you're alluding to it already. It sounds like this Monroe tournament victory has kind of put it all together for you. What is it that's different that you notice is different about this squad? Is it anything in particular? The bats? Is it the pitching, or is it what is it? Everything coming together?
Honestly, this year we thought our biggest factor was going to be pitching.
Okay.
And we thought it was going to have to be, we're going to have to play small ball, and we were going to have to just hope our arms were just good enough to get us through a good innings. But it's crazy because we started right out the gate with the season when we played Poly Prep. We faced Justice. Obviously we all know how Justice is. He's a great pitcher. He's good stuff. We ended up even though we lost them, we saw that we can compete against good arms. And we were putting the ball in play and stuff, and we were doing what we did best. It wasn't a bad game. But then when we ended up playing Zavarian, we faced they started Mike Ardent. He's going to Mount St. Mary's, I believe, or something like that. And we instantly we ended up we ended up mercying them, and our bats were just all over the place, hitting balls in gaps, getting balls through holes, and we weren't expecting this because he's a guy who's like, I want to say mid to upper 8s, and that was probably our second game of the season, and we haven't, and they've already been going since February, so we weren't expecting to come out that hot, and since then our bats have been moving.
That's great, man. That's great.
So you guys are feeling your stride from an offense perspective, especially after that outing. It feels like, and it sounds like the confidence is there, John. It sounds like you guys are getting confident and getting hot at a very particular time. That's where your confidence and why you're so high on this team right now. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, I mean, it's just once you get the confidence in this game is everything. I mean, if you're
Yep.
when you're with a confident team and you're confident on the field, nothing's stopping you because you know you're the player that's gonna step up and make a play.
Yeah.
I mean, you can never step on a field and be scared of who's. It doesn't matter how hard you throw. It doesn't matter how far you hit a baseball. At the end of the day, you got to compete. It doesn't matter who. It doesn't matter who you are.
That's right. John, I got a question for you. Last week we had Anthony DePetro on from St. Joseph by the Sea, and we kind of like taking the conversation towards, you know, speaking to young athletes, right? You're a two-way player. You're committed to St. Elizabeth University in New Jersey. Um, Tell us a little bit about how you can be a two-way player nowadays, because there's a good shot you may do that in college, right? How
Mm-hmm.
are you, how do you manage your time? How do you manage your bullpens? How do you manage getting swings in with, obviously doing well in school? How do you do that? If you can talk to the 10-year-old John, right now, what would you tell them to do? Because I'm sure there are kids that want to do both, right? They want to play,
Yeah.
they want to pitch, they want to hit. They want to play defense every inning. What would you say to that young kid?
Well, first things first, obviously. Before you get to all that, school, you got to make sure every grades are always top priority with everything. But outside of that, when it comes down to the athletic standpoint, what I found out through my progress as an athlete, you're knowing your body and understanding your body health is the key factor to everything. You
Oh,
need to make sure that you understand what your body's limit is, um, how you need to stretch, how far you like. So what I do is I'm a big mobility guy. I want to make sure my body is very loose and ready to go. Because as a pitcher, you need to have that mobility, and as a hitter, it's everything and everything a part of the game is just mobility and being able to have your body loose.
That's right.
So, if you want, I can give you a quick breakdown of what I do routine wise, like before a game, just to
Yeah, take 30
sure.
seconds, for a minute, take it. I
Go
think
for it.
kids
Yeah,
want to hear this type of stuff, man.
as do I.
I mean, I am a firm believer in I always foam roll before a game, then go into my just it's like laying down stretches, like obviously scorpions and whatnot to get your lower back moving, like the 90s to obviously get your hips going. Obviously after I move off the ground, I go into my what was it called? I want to like your running stuff, your high knees and all that stuff, getting your body that moving that way.
Calisthenics. Yeah.
Yeah, Cal. That's what I thought it was. I forgot for a second.
I heard it. You almost said it. I helped you out. But go
it,
ahead. After the
it was there.
calisthenics we have, go ahead.
I didn't want to be wrong.
We got you. We know what you mean. Go ahead.
Yeah. After that, I'll move into like bands, just to get the shoulders moving. Like I found that everything throwing with me, since I'm a 3/4 guy, is heavy on my shoulder. So I like to get my shoulder, a lot of shoulder stuff in my bands. I think my band routine I stole was from like Trevor Hoffman or something like that. I found it online and I really
Really?
liked it
That's
and I
great.
stuck with it. Because everything I do like stretching wise, I always find online from clips who got guys who are like top guys who move well.
Why not? Yeah.
Um, After my bands, I like to do a nice little light plyo thing. A lot of guys think with plyos you got to go crazy and stuff. It's just that you're supposed to be like 50, 75% getting the arm moving, getting your body moving with your arm, timing yourself up. I love doing that stuff because I feel like it's especially after my sophomore year when I hurt my UCL, that really helped me get my arm back into shape and keep it healthy. Like I'm coming out throwing 85 pitches on a start and then going and play third next day. My arm feels great the
Well,
next
that's
day.
the reason why, John, that's the reason why I said it, because I know that it takes a lot to do two-way. Um, and not only does it take a lot of mental fortitude and discipline, you have to take care of your body, right? You
Yeah.
have to warm up the right way. You have to manage bullpens the right way. You have to be able to cool down and recover the right way. So that was a great breakdown, man. I think a lot of
Yeah.
kids need to hear that. I think the younger kids that are coming up that do look up to kids like you, and you name, Justice, and you got guys like Miguel Syme, and all these kids that are committed to schools that are going to play in college. Kids look up to you guys. You may not realize that, but they look up to you, and they want to mimic the things that you guys do. So that was good stuff, man. Really appreciate that.
Yeah. John, you bring up the stuff that you said you found online. That's something, boy, I wish when I was in high school that I had access to watch videos like that of some of these you mentioned a Hall of Famer, right? He just got it.
Mm.
Did he just get in? Did he just get elected?
Was it
Yeah, it
last
was
year maybe?
recently.
I think it
Yeah,
was
I think
last
that
Yeah.
year. Yep.
he was either last year or whatnot. I mean, how great is that? Is to be able to learn from someone, one of the best to ever do it in the game of baseball. So what an incredible tool that's available. And Chris asked the question for you to frame it for the younger people. Younger people can get online and check videos for their favorite player. It doesn't need to be Trevor Hoffman. God bless you, John, for
Yeah.
knowing who Trevor Hoffman is and having knowledge of the game, because that's more Chris and I's kind of era. To be fair, that's who we grew up
Yeah,
with, right, Chris?
that's right. That's right.
One of the best
You can learn.
besides
You can learn from
Mo
every
Rivera.
era.
Yeah.
That's right, John.
Oh,
John,
that
I have another question for John Todd.
yeah.
So last week we did a little segment, took a few minutes just to talk about some of the players on your team that are doing well, right? I know there's obviously a show with you and your week that you had, but give some shout outs to the boys on the team right now. Who's doing well? Who do you think's really gonna pick up the speed in the next few weeks? Give some shout outs to the boys if you can, John.
I gotta say, Jason Bassett. He's for the first few games he was struggling a little bit to find the zone. But he's recently on the mound. He's started to pick up and he's filling up the zone very well. He just came off a very nice start against Midwood. Also Ben Levy. He on the Monroe tournament, 2 home runs. Kid was crushing
Yeah,
the
we posted
baseball.
about that. Coach Grippo told me he
He
was
was crushing the
smashing the
baseball
ball. Yep,
all week. And honestly, I see him being hot as the season keeps going because his bat, as the season picks up, it just gets better and better.
that's awesome.
Also, one of our, I gotta say, he's probably one of our captains, Mike Guccio. He's also he hurt his he was hurting his pec was hurting in the beginning of the year. He didn't get to play too much at the start, but recently his bat's been coming around again. He's starting to put balls put balls through holes and find gaps. The other day against I forgot who it was, but he barreled a baseball too. It almost went out. I mean, he's starting to pick up again too.
That's great. It's a good
That's
time to get hot, right? Right, John?
Yeah, great time.
This is the time right here. May and early June, you guys get hot right now. City championship is right in the grass for you guys. That's good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
John,
That's
I,
good
I
stuff.
always like to ask this question. Outside of obviously your great teammates that you have and plenty of people that I'm sure you play with throughout Staten Island, when I get to know you a little bit, what's the major league team you follow, and what player do you kind of emulate, or kind of what pitchers or first baseman do you kind of like out there in the major leagues?
Well, right now my favorite team, obviously, New York Yankees. Can't go wrong with that. Um, Player wise, I would say for the batting aspect of things, I gotta say my swing right now is I'm trying to kind of somewhat resemble Judge's swing because I'm one of those guys who likes to do that leg load, and
Okay.
kind of just ease into my swing. I don't like that big. I don't like all those big leg kicks or like the no stride. I like to have a nice little timing aspect to everything.
Absolutely.
Pitching wise, at this moment in time, I would say probably Paul Skeens, a guy who's dominating the zone, a guy who
Ooh, yeah.
located a pitch very well.
Throws a
Yeah.
lot of strikes too.
Yeah. Like today is like what I tried to do is I see how a lot of pitchers nowadays try to mix in a leg kick. So into my today's close I had today, I was mixing in like a regular leg kick to like a midway leg kick to just a slide step to throw off hitters' timings. And everything I did, I always tried to feel like I was kind of rotating my front hip towards my back leg before I went to the plate. So no matter what I did, my body was still moving and landing the same way on every single pitch, no matter where my leg kick was.
That's
Hey,
great, man.
Chris, I got a question for you about what John has spoken about. Twice he's touched on what I'm referencing Mark DeRosa, Team USA baseball coach here. He always talks about on MLB Network body awareness. And Chris, I feel like we've touched about this a lot. And John, the way he's speaking, Chris, very aware about his body, very aware about making sure it's at its peak physical condition prior to, but also he's very aware about being in the batter's box and pitching. Chris, just talk to how important is that, and we talked about the kids understanding what that means. They could just listen to John speak, right, Chris? Because that's what he's
Yeah,
talking about here is body awareness, right?
he did a really great job of explaining how the body works. And for me, when I work with younger guys, Todd,
Yeah,
the kids that are most athletic at the youngest ages know how their body moves in a certain amount of space. And, obviously John does that really well. And then once you start lifting weights, you know, hopefully you start lifting weights around the 12, 13, 14 age range. You now have that really good athleticism coupled with power, and that's how you go on to play in college, Todd, is the athleticism, the awareness, the body awareness, the strength. And if you have that work ethic, going back to what John said with academics, you got the full package. You're in line to play in college, and hopefully from there, who knows, right? But
yeah,
having that body awareness, having that strength is so important for kids as a young athlete. And that was a great breakdown, John.
yeah.
Not many kids your age can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I just want you to understand that that's not a common thing at this stage of the game to be
Hmm.
so in tune with, and not just in tune, John, but to understand it and then profess it in such a way that's very unique. And it's something I'm grateful to be able to talk to you about it. And I get to learn a little bit about getting inside your head.
Most
And even you
definitely.
talking about Judge and his timing mechanism. For example, real quick, I'm teaching my little nephew about a timing mechanism. He's just so static in the box. It drives me nuts. He's all upper body. And then I show him Aaron Judge's swing and he goes, oh, and that
Hmm.
timing mechanism helps you out so much. And have you seen improvements in your swing now, John, because of that better timing using that type of mechanism?
Yeah. I mean, so with all that timing stuff that I do as a hitter, it really helps me because with that little like leg load I do, where I feel my hands come back a little bit as a coil, and I feel as that pitch is coming. I like to do where it's like I go a little bit to that front side, so my body stays in that like I feel like a pole's got when I land, it's like a pole's just down the center of my body,
Love that.
Hmm.
and at the last second on my swing, as my foot comes down, I'll feel my backside do a little bit of a tilt, and I'll get nicely behind the ball, and I'll be able to work either in, middle, or out, no matter where the pitch is. And it's just a matter of when you want to have that feel where as soon as your foot hits, you feel that tilt in your backside and your barrel starting to move. It's just all about how you time your body with when that foot goes.
That's
That's
awesome,
awesome,
man.
man. It's a great
That's great.
breakdown, John. Excellent for your
John,
age,
well,
dude.
congratulations on your success up to this point. I just wanted to throw the numbers out there in that semifinal game. 6 innings pitched, 5 Ks, no walks, only one hit given up in that John Jay, that semifinal game, as I mentioned. 6 for 12 at the plate, 11 ribeye steak sandwiches, a double and a triple. Boy, man, you had a great tournament. You've had great success up to this point, and it sounds like your team is poised to do what Tottenville does. Let's just be real. And that's win the damn thing. So, John, as a pirate, win the damn thing.
High standards, John. A lot of tradition over at Tottenville.
I
You can't let
very
us
much believe
down,
we will
dude.
be there. We got this year.
I believe in you
Awesome, man.
guys.
Well, John, thank you for the time today, and God bless you too for helping out your mom and the PTA at your old school. I think you're such a well-rounded person, individual. We appreciate you taking time. Go ahead, help your mom. Tell your mom thank you for allowing for us to borrow you real quick for this nice little tough talk chat. And good luck the rest of the way, and go Pirates.
Thank you.
Thanks, John. See you soon, bud.
Thank you.
All right, that was
Take care.
wow, that was epic. He is so smart, man.
Todd, I think it's important that we tell the viewers that, you know, being a tough media player of the week isn't just, oh, we did really well on the field. If you notice, all the guys that we've had as player of the week, good people, good communicators, do well in school, are good athletes. We want the whole package, Todd, and
Yeah.
John is most definitely that. Coach Grippo's got a good kid on his hands. His John's parents are doing a great job. Keep it up, and most
Oh,
definitely a gentleman, right?
I mean, it's so refreshing, Chris. It
Absolutely.
truly is from jump of saying hello off camera before we even started. all the way through taking the time to explain things. And oh, by the way, he's helping his mom in the old PTA at the old school
That's
he's at
right.
too. It's like icing on the cake. You can't go wrong. And it's just a beautiful thing. But we just embrace it, right, Chris? I
Yeah.
mean, you have to embrace and value people like this
And
and
also
share that.
reward those type of kids, Todd, right? I think it's important
Right.
that we reward, good character, good grades, the whole
Yeah.
package, right? It's not,
Yeah.
not everybody wins the trophies nowadays, right? That's not how
Right.
this works. Like
That's
the
right.
kids that do the right thing win the trophies, and John is definitely that kid.
And Chris, you're always about you. You said this a couple of times, and I love you've told this to a couple of our plays of the week thus far. As they speak about sport, so is life, pal. You know,
Absolutely.
like
Absolutely.
the who was it? Who had the injury? Was it Eddie Rethorn who had the injury,
Yes.
and then
Yes.
he bounced back with, and it was a challenge, and he had to try, and it was rough. And you came in and said, "Hey, that's life."
Yeah.
But that's and it's so true. But here he is, another kid, right? Who
Yeah.
just gets it. He gets the whole picture of it. It's
Yeah,
not just
because
about
Todd, there's gonna be a time where Eddie has to explain to someone else, like, how did I get through a shattered leg to come back and throw a no hitter, right?
it's crazy.
We've all been through that, right? So
Yeah,
these are life lessons that I hope these kids
yeah.
pass on to the next generation, because I think a big part of what we're doing at Tough Media is educating the next generation, bringing the community together, and it's people like John and Eddie and
Yeah.
Chris Palomini and Anthony DePetro. Those kids really stand out in the community, and I wish them nothing but the best because they're great kids.
Speaking of Chris Palomini, holy heck! At the time of this recording, he is absolutely destroying the ECAC. You know how good he's doing? He's ranked in the nation, folks. He is number 10. 10. Holy Chris, is that for real? This kid's crazy.
And I heard he went off last night at the Heroes game that they do for Anthony
That's right.
Barbero and his
At at,
pops and stuff like that. And
at Ferry Hawks, yeah.
I was speaking to Coach Leno earlier today, and he told me he went off again. They beat Felician, who's I believe a nationally ranked team. So CSI is even running right now, Todd. Right?
It's beautiful. And then, Chris, this goes back to what we said when we were at Ferry Hawks getting ready and previewing all 11 teams. We said Staten Island baseball is always up there. It's just a question of how high is it going to go
Exactly.
this year? And we're seeing across the board now, Chris, the CSI doing well. We've already featured Chris, who's ranked in the nation, top 10 in the nation. Is crazy.
Hmm.
Tottenville's going to make a run. C right now is got to be was tops 20 in the state, right, Chris? Still, I believe.
C is still hot. Farrell is hot.
Yeah,
Peters is on a hot streak right now.
yeah, I
I,
did see
I
that.
I went to the Newdorp Grant Street game today. They're playing
Okay,
well. Ray was telling me that I think they got off to a 4-0 start. They went down a few games, but they're doing well.
good,
Baseball is alive and well in Staten Island and in New York City, Todd.
love it. And
We're
you're
not
gonna,
going anywhere.
we're not going anywhere.
That's right.
Uh, but wow, good week again. You know what we're gonna do next time, Chris? I'm gonna come prepared. We're gonna do a little recap of all the teams and standings. I
Sure.
think we should just get a recap of how this and other outstanding performance, some honorable mentions, where we're at in the standings in each league, and who we got to look out for the playoffs because that's right around the corner, Chris. Right?
It is. It's maybe 3-4 weeks away.
That's
This
nuts.
these next few weeks are really going to determine what's going on. I know
Yeah.
Moore is on a hot streak.
Oh, is that
I
right?
want to
More?
say they're 8-2 in league play.
Whoa.
I think they beat the number one team in their league recently.
Oh,
They're
okay.
hot. So everyone is doing well right now, Todd. We're
Wow.
going to these games. We got some boots on the ground, so to say, and Staten
Which is
Island
great.
is at the top. There's no doubt. There's no denying it.
Yeah, be sure to follow Tough Media on Instagram, folks. They are an absolute fantastic follow for everything New York City related, and that's important for our viewers and listeners. If you're still joining us right now, thank you. We hope you enjoyed the interview with John Santomassino, who was an outstanding individual to have take some time out of a very busy evening. He clearly had. He played today, by the way, too.
He
Uh,
did.
I don't know if we even got to that. There was so much we could get to, and these recordings go on and on. We could go on forever with these guys. They're so great.
Yeah,
Uh, but yeah, just to give you some perspective of how awesome John was, but taking the
absolutely.
time and whatnot. But yeah, Chris, another great week. Thank you
Yes,
as
sir.
always, brother. Good to hear from you. We
too,
thank
Todd.
John. We congratulate John. We celebrate John Santomassino from Tauntonville. And as always, go Pirates. Not that we're biased at all or anything. But hey, a great week for Staten Island baseball. Follow TUF Media. Thanks to our friends over at MUSU, of course. Shout out to Bobby and Tommy. Chris, next time we'll do it again, huh?
Yes, sir, Todd. Good seeing you, bro.
All right, brother. That's it. That's this episode of Tough Talk. Player of the Week, John Santomassino, Tauntonville Senior, pitcher, first baseman. Outstanding job. We appreciate your time. We'll see you on the next one.
See you guys.